Hey y'all, welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to do a little bathroom refresh on a budget. Just going to be using some wallpaper today to transform this space. I got this beautiful blue floral wallpaper from Amazon. I want to say this big large roll was like $20 some, really inexpensive, and we're actually going to be using this wallpaper here on this wall, and then if I have enough, I'm going to go down right here on the side, on the other side of the cabinets. So that is the game plan. Let's get it done. Here is a quick reminder what the bathroom looked like before we get started. So it still looks really pretty. It's actually very calming, light and bright. There's nothing wrong with the bathroom the way it is. But you know, I've just been in this mood for change and just a refresh in the space, and what better way to do that than add some peel and stick wallpaper. It's affordable, it's easy to do, and it's like a day's worth of project. Like, it doesn't take that long. So, and it's easy to take down. If, God forbid, I decide to change my mind, just pull it down. I know I've mentioned this many times, and I'm sure you already know this, but peel and stick wallpaper is great if you're in a rental. Number one, it can really just bring a ton of character to your space without having to alter the walls in a permanent way, making sure that you're gonna get your deposit back. And I know a lot of times rentals can be really plain Jane. A lot of the reason for that is just because it's easy for the landlord to come in and do touch-ups in between tenants. It's a lot cheaper, easier. So that's most of the time why, if you're ever in a rental, it's just the most basic home ever. Wallpaper will make a huge impact in the space. The biggest thing when it comes to using peel and stick wallpaper to ensure that it's going to stick is to make sure your walls are clean. It is best to use on walls that are not textured. I know that's really rare nowadays. A lot of companies, like home builders, will use texture to hide imperfections because it's really hard to get a wall really smooth unless they're like a really great drywall person. So that's why a lot of homes have like that orange peel texture. Now, my walls are very textured because they were trying to hide the imperfections. So wallpaper does not stick that well on my walls. And I'm going to share all my tips and tricks to make it stick even when it doesn't want to.
I'll go find one. Ah, look how pretty! So cute! It matches with like the mirror and like the desk.
You're really great at cutting lines. You want to cut a line for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see how I'm going to cut right here on this line here?
Yep.
Straight across.
Okay.
Okay. Good job, babe. Good job. Okay. All right, here we go. So I'm peeling off a little corner, going ahead and get the paper started. And then I'm actually gonna overlap up onto the ceiling a little bit. And this just makes sure that when I go back in later with a razor knife and cut, I'll have a straight line going all the way across that's even. And I don't have like different heights of the wallpaper stuck on the wall. But also, I actually messed up right here. I think it was just because I was filming. You know how sometimes when you're like under pressure, you just you don't think clearly. Well, I should have overlapped to the corner as well and came down with a razor knife and cut it, but I didn't. And you'll notice that as I put the wallpaper on, although it's perfectly straight, our walls are not straight. So if you overlap, especially with a wallpaper that's as forgiving as this one, it's going to look a lot better. So as I come down on this back corner, look by the light in the mirror, you can see how the white of the wall starts to kind of show as I keep peeling. And I was like, oh no, that's not gonna work, because the further down you go, the more crooked it's gonna get. So I actually peeled this back up and stuck it back to the wall with a little bit of overlap. So here I was just kind of pointing out what I was talking about. Honestly, this is not ideal. It's best to get it right the first time, because the more you peel up and stick back on the wall, the less the adhesive is gonna work. But I have a solution for that, so don't worry, because unfortunately this particular wallpaper just doesn't stick that great. So I end up using a spray glue, along with caulking the edges, allows it to hold up in its place. But if you ever do need to pull the wallpaper down, it doesn't hurt anything. A little bit of caulk at the top of the ceiling, nobody's ever gonna know. Most ceilings have a little bead of caulk going around the corners anyway, so don't even worry about it. Alright, so next I am just taking my razor knife and cutting like a little X right here on this hardware that I left up. The reason I left the hardware up, just because number one, it's already in there. Why remove it and have to put it back up and measure it all back out? It's easier just to cut around the wallpaper. And this is super simple. The razor knife cuts right through the wallpaper, so you just kind of make like a little X cut, and then you can kind of fold that back to see what you're cutting around, and it's easier to do it that way. That's how I do it. There's multiple ways you can do this. You can actually outline before you even, put your wallpaper up. I just find that this is the easiest way to just overlap whatever you're working on. You can feel it through like the wallpaper to know where to cut, and I do the same thing when it comes to the outlet. So now, something else I like to do, especially with a wallpaper like this that's extremely forgiving, nobody's gonna know. It's overlapped, and if I didn't overlap it and I actually lined it up where the flowers were supposed to be, then there would be a white seam going down because I didn't paint the wall behind it the darker color. Sometimes people will do that. If you're doing like a permanent wallpaper, they will paint in between where the seams are gonna line up, so that way it just kind of blends in a little bit better. I'm not doing that, so I'm just gonna overlap my wallpaper a little bit, and it hides the seam, and you would never know. It's a surprise! How cool! Surprise stickers out of there.
Oh,
That's neat. What's your payment for working? Uh-oh.
Look, I got stickers out of it.
Something's going on. That's the, okay, this is the lighter, okay. Got it. A hard drop.
They're so cute. Ooh, I think I like Elsa one. That's cool though. Just popped right out of there. Oh yeah, it says surprises on it.
Thank goodness I was paying attention, because y'all see that wallpaper was upside down. It wouldn't be the first time I put wallpaper upside down. I did that in the front bathroom, and so many of you guys called me out. We're like, I think the wallpaper's supposed to go the other way, but I lived with it for so long. I was like, yeah, no one's gonna notice. Everybody noticed. So thankfully I caught on before I actually stuck it up here. And this is the moment where I realized, oh crap, this wallpaper's not sticking that well. I need to go grab my adhesive. You'll see as I start moving on, an entire piece actually peels back. And y'all know I show it all here. I'm not trying to sugarcoat things. Some projects are really smooth, some are a little bit more challenging, like for instance this wallpaper. It's super easy to do. However, I did hit a few hiccups with the wallpaper when it came to, number one, I ran out of wallpaper. I ended up having to piece together the part in between the cabinet and the door. But not just that, I had a couple moments where I accidentally messed up with my razor knife during the cutting parts. Wallpaper like this is so forgiving though, so I try not to stress on it being absolutely perfect. Truly nobody even uses this bathroom but me, and if anybody is like coming to your house and they're looking for small imperfections like that, then they shouldn't even be in your home to begin with. I'm just gonna say that. But anyway, here's where I was sticking on this little piece. Everything was going smooth, and then all of a sudden the entire corner where the light is, it just peeled down. You can actually start to see a little bit of the bubble forming right now, and it just comes down. And I was like, oh crap, and then I was stuck on the ladder over here. I couldn't let it go because it was going to peel all the way down. Thankfully my daughter was in there. She helped me hold it up so that way I could get over here to the vanity and stick it back up. And at this moment, that was when I went out and grabbed my spray glue, and I'm going to continue to use the spray glue on the wallpaper. So I'll get to the spray glue in just a minute and you'll see that happening. But if you're in a rental, I highly discourage using the spray glue, because there's no guarantee that when you pull the wallpaper down that it's not going to damage the walls. So don't do that. But an alternative, something that I've done in the past for corners that just seem to keep lifting even with glue, is take a small clear tack or one of the flat tacks and paint it the color of the wallpaper and stick it up in that little pesky corner that keeps trying to come down. I actually did that here just so that way I had time to go grab my spray glue before everything started falling back down on me. I think a lot of the reason why this wallpaper wasn't sticking really well is just because of how extremely textured this bathroom is in particular. like I said earlier, I think they did an over texture spray on here to hide a lot of the dips and cracks that were all in the wall. To be honest, the craftsmanship of this house was just not the best. So at this point, all of the wallpaper is pretty much in place. You can see even this little corner right here above the door is not sticking. I tacked it all up, and then I went and grabbed the spray glue, and then I had a moment where I was able to spray it down. Also, let me just say, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place today. I hope y'all are like following along okay. This is the part where I had to piece together a lot of the wallpaper because I ran out of a full strip. So I just would cut little thin strips and then just overlap them. And once again, like I mentioned, the wallpaper is extremely forgiving. You can't even see the lines. So now let's go grab some glue and we're gonna fix this up.
Making moves, trying to get away from this life I'm living. Same old things every day, wanna change this feeling. Wasting no more time, don't care about what you're saying. Try to keep me down, no time for all your playing. Yeah, even if you doubt me now, you should know I don't care about the things you say.
Alright, so I got all the edges cut, except for that one little piece hanging down from the ceiling. Don't worry, I'll get it. But I'm taking this Loctite spray glue. I picked this up from Walmart a couple months back when I actually built my DIY headboard. It works well on foam. It actually sticks really well to all different materials. So I'm using this and just hitting the corners of the wallpaper with it. I'm not really worried about doing the entire wall. That would be great if I would have known that this wallpaper wasn't going to stick before I started putting it all up there. But at this point, I'm just going to do the corners. That way it holds it up in place and it won't come flying down. And I will say, I noticed that this wallpaper is on the heavier side, which I think is another reason why the wallpaper tends to, like, once it starts peeling a little bit, it just, the weight of it wants to pull itself down. So if you are going to buy this wallpaper, just know that you may need to use the little tape hack, or you can even use the Loctite spray adhesive. By the way, the tape hack I'm talking about is the double-sided tape. That is another option as well. I forgot to mention that earlier. I think the Scotch tape, they have a double-sided that's like really heavy duty that also works really well at holding wallpaper up in the corners. So that's something to try out. But I will say, if your bathroom is very humid or like a room in your house gets unusually hot, maybe it gets a lot of afternoon sun, just know that wallpaper in those areas is more likely going to bubble or peel up over time just due to the heat, because once that adhesive starts to get a little warmed up, it comes down super easy. And that is a tip if you are deciding that you're ready to pull down your wallpaper. Use a blow dryer to heat up the adhesive and it'll peel right down without it, getting stuck all on the wall. Now, after I get this plate cover back on the switch, I am then going to move on to caulking the seams. Now, if you don't want to caulk the seams, but you want to have a nice straight edge with your razor knife, I recommend going in with a ruler and cutting along the ruler edge. That way you have that straight, perfect line. Don't just try to freehand it because it will look a little jagged, especially from a distance. Mine's a little jagged, so I did plan on going in with caulk, so it's not going to be a big deal. It hides all those rough edges. And the other benefit, once again, is that it holds the corners up in place. And that is a big deal. I'm telling you, there's nothing more embarrassing than like the corner of your wallpaper starting to peel down when you have guests come over, especially in the bathroom. They're sitting there on the toilet, they're looking around, they're like, trying to find something to look at while they're using the bathroom. And all of a sudden your wall starts peeling down. That's embarrassing. So save yourself from that and use one of the hacks in this video to make sure that doesn't happen to you. So first off, I started out with a couple different pieces of art. I tried to use my art in here, but it was a little too dark and moody. I wanted something that had a little bit better contrast, so I went with this piece that came from Hobby Lobby. I also added a faux plant from Walmart. This is something new that they had. I snagged it immediately. It's absolutely stunning. And then I added a candle to just bring some warmth to the space. Alright y'all, the wallpaper is done. It looks stunning. I'm obsessed, super obsessed. By the way, this is a new plant from Walmart. I'll link it below. I happened to walk down the home decor aisle and I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, 14 bucks. And I feel like it's beautiful. It's like a really great transition to fall. It's the Better Homes and Gardens brand, so I'll link that below. And then this is actually from Hobby Lobby, I believe. I got that on sale a long time ago, but the wallpaper just, it did something for the space. I love it so much. Now, the one thing I will say, I think I'm gonna paint the door and the light switch the same color as the cabinetry, just to kind of make it look more like a custom space. I feel like that will really just elevate everything, but y'all will have to let me know what you think. I love it. It's calming, it's moody, but it's not like too dark, you know what I mean? And I think it's because the rest of the bathroom has that white, bright, like kind of elegant look. So adding the moody wallpaper, it didn't do too much, but it did just enough to kind of spice it up a bit. So let me know what y'all think. Alright, so I know this is random, but I am random. What's new? We're going to throw in a little cleaning motivation here at the end, because the reality is when I work on projects, usually my house pays the price. And things get a little out of control. I've had a lot of you comment and say, like, how do you keep your house so clean whenever you're working on projects? Y'all, I don't. Whatever space I'm working in usually stays pretty decent, but the rest of the house, look at this. This is like one weekend of just like being home with the family. Like, it just gets so out of control. So I'm going to take a couple minutes and get this house cleaned up. The one plus side about having a small house is I can clean it quickly. A lot of times I will use like a little laundry basket. I'll just carry it around on my hip and I will grab things that need to go in certain rooms. So that way I'm not making multiple trips back and forth. Although my house is literally 2 steps away from each door, but who cares? I just like to make my life easier. Work smarter, not harder. But I'm grabbing everything that doesn't belong here on the counter. We're gonna do a quick tidy up, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the little cleaning motivation. I also wanted to let you guys know that I am considering bringing my cleaning channel back. I have collected quite a bit of cleaning footage, and I have been considering it. So let me know your thoughts. Should I bring the cleaning channel back, or should I just stick to posting all the cleaning content here? I do have like a little twist I'd like to throw into the cleaning channel. If I do decide to start that back up, it'll be more so like a podcast style where I talk just about different subjects and just chat with you guys. And then some of them I would love to play, you know, more like relaxing music, and some I would even love to do like a Christian playlist. I think would be really cool. So let me know your thoughts on that. But I'll play some music here for you guys and we'll get this house cleaned up.
It's like the whole eternity
Y'all actually may remember I recently posted a fall decor haul. If you want to check that video out, I will have it linked down below. And this is the aftermath of a haul, just chaos. I had like all the boxes open and just all the stuff just sprawled out everywhere. It actually looks like a lot more than it actually is. It's more so boxes and like paper and stuff. So I'm just sorting through all that. I'm actually going to store all this away temporarily until it's time to start decorating. I'm not quite ready to decorate for fall. I'm waiting to gather up a couple new things, and then I need to get into my totes outside and see what I do have left over from last year and go from there. If you are excited for all the fall decorating, let me know. Give the video a thumbs up. Leave a little fall emoji down below. I know I'm excited. I can't wait. I am just ready for all the fall things. My favorite time of the year, like as far as like my house decorated goes, is fall. Like it just looks so good. And I think what it is because I already have like such a great fall base. Like I feel like my house already has like a lot of fall colors going on all year round, so it just all flows so nicely. After getting all that laundry folded, this makes me never want to touch a load of laundry again. But most of all, it makes me never want to get behind again because that was awful. But good news is I got it done. And now I'm just in my daughter's room. I'm going to do a quick tidy up in here. I don't always do this. A lot of times most of the time, the kids clean their own rooms and they're in charge of keeping up with them. Are they perfect? No, I don't really care. They're little. They're never going to be perfect. So every now and then I'll come in. I'll just do like a little quick tidy up. I'll do like the mom clean, clean up the floors, get all the trash out of here, the stuff up underneath the like nightstands and things, and vacuum and stuff like that. But most of the time the kids take care of their stuff, which I appreciate. It has helped so much with keeping up at the house, like having them be old enough to have chores. Like it's like a different, it's funny. Let's talk about that for a second. It's so funny because like when your kids are babies, it's hard in its own way, right? Like because they're babies, they're really like they need you so much. Like they're not independent at all. Then when they start to turn like 2 to 3, they start to show their independence, and it's like, oh, this is getting easier. But then other things become harder. The kids start talking, they start talking back, and it gets hard in its own way. But I will say, I know a lot of moms are like in the thick of it right now with your toddlers and babies, and I know how difficult that time, frame is. I totally can relate and sympathize and all that, but just know that while things are still hard and hard in their own way as your kids get older, I feel like the stage that my kids are in right now, the 7 through 10, I don't know what it is, but this age has just been so much fun. Your kids really start developing their personality. They get funny. You can actually have like a conversation with them that's like, I don't know, it's so different, and it's so enjoyable. So that's something to look forward to. If you're a mom in the thick of the toddler stage right now and dirty diapers, like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It does get really fun, I promise. Not that it's not fun in those phases either. I love the toddler stage personally. I think it was so much fun. There are a lot of moments I don't remember, and I actually recently touched on this in a Q&A. I brought up the fact that like I feel like I can't remember a whole lot from when my kids were little, and it's just like kind of sad. It makes me emotional, and I guess I thought that it was due to my job. I kept relating that to it, but it turns out after reading all the comments, a lot of you guys can relate to that, and I wanted to say thank you for all of you who reached out and were like, hey, you're not alone. You're not the only mom that, struggles with remembering certain things. And I guess that mom guilt kind of just, has followed me for a while, and getting that off my chest and y'all sharing with me that you feel the same way. And even in different circumstances, it's nice to be able to relate to you guys. Also, I will say, it just kind of reminds me to just remind you to just really soak in all those moments. I know. I used to hate when people would be like, oh, just embrace it. I know it's so hard. I know sleepless nights are so hard, but you're going to miss this. And the thing is, you're going to miss it, but you may not remember it. And that is so devastating for me. I don't know why that breaks my heart so much, but it's just the truth. As moms, I think our plates are just so full. We're just so busy, and our brains can only remember certain things. And not that you forget everything. There's certain things I, of course, remember. My baby's first steps, first time they said their words, and ate for the first time. Those milestones. I remember those things. But it's just the day-to-day life that you kind of it's a blur. It truly is. And when you look back at photos and videos, it's almost like, when did that happen? It's crazy. So just really embrace every single day, because it goes by so fast.
Let me tell you this, let me tell you right now, your exquisite kiss still burning. Didn't know I missed this passion in life. Now I'm addicted somehow. Let me tell you what is up with your smile? It's impossible, not melting, irresistible. When I look through your eyes, not even sky's the limit. I used to be satisfied, stayed over the surface. Now I just can't get enough. You make me feel good like no other. I just want everyone to see what I've discovered. And when I'm with you, I go higher. You lift me up, now I can see so much farther. Beyond the horizon. Beyond the horizon. I'm a butterfly who has only begun, taking me a while to get it. Had to live and cry to appreciate life, and what you give is worth it. When you're holding me, when you hold me so close, I want further in under your skin. Wanna leave a mark so that I can be sure that you remember what's been. I used to be satisfied, stayed over the surface. Now I just can't get enough. You make me feel good like no other. I just want everyone to see what I've discovered. And when I'm with you, I go higher. You lift me up, now I can see so much farther. Beyond the horizon. Beyond the horizon. And let me tell you what I found. Leaving everything behind, knowing there is more in life that I want. Now I wanna embrace life, you and I side by side, knowing there is more in life that I want. You make me feel good like no other. I just want everyone to see what I've discovered. And when I'm with you, I go higher.
All right, so we're gonna close out today's video making some turkey rice bowls. These are so good. I like to make these for meal prep as well. So I just take a pound of ground turkey and I saute that using mushrooms and onions. Once I get everything in the pan, I do drizzle this with olive oil. Ground turkey has like not much fat in there, so it's really hard to get it brown, but I personally do not like any type of meat unless it has like a brown color on it, so using the olive oil helps brown it a little bit. It also helps cook down the mushrooms and onions, and then I just add in a mixture of different seasonings. We have like an all-purpose seasoning, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, the whole nine. While that is cooking, I then go ahead and start cooking the green beans. I do those the exact same way. I add olive oil, salt, pepper, just a mixture of seasonings, and I cook those on high until those get browned. And then in the background over there, you'll see I'm also sauteing some frozen onions and peppers. That's just to give it more flavor. This is optional, but I love like peppers and onions and the turkey and green bean all together with the rice. It's so good. Also, the rice that I'm making is the cilantro lime rice. It is the best with this meal. It just kind of gives some more flavor. And that is pretty much it. You add it all together. You can add soy sauce or hot sauce, and it's so good. Alright, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the vlog / DIY bathroom makeover. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye y'all!